What is up, everyone? Vorlock Ryan here, bringing you another installment of Fun Times in Video Gaming. Last time I showed you an intro to leveling a hardcore character. I've since leveled that character and thought I'd showcase a bit on what to do when you get to that 70. Before we get to the gameplay, though, let me just say thank you to all the new subscribers that have joined in the last week, as well as those that liked and commented on my last video. I very much appreciate you guys' support. That being said, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like what you see. And if you want to be notified of new content when it comes out, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. Now that the intro's out of the way, let's get started on the video. Okay, so I've got the hardcore character here, and I've leveled up the Witch Doctor to level 70. I think I got a few Paragon levels just from finishing up the last Nephilim Rift I was doing. So I thought I'd show you guys kind of what to do um, when you get to 70 and how that kind of deals with being hardcore and all that kind of stuff. With hardcore, you obviously want to take it a lot slower. You don't want to rush. In this particular case, I've already played a softcore character, so I don't have the set bonuses. So that's an added bonus in the fact that it makes it a little bit harder for you guys to jump right into the season. You're gonna have to take it really pretty slow. So now that you're 70, what do? Really, your number one thing that you're going to be gearing towards is finding at least one piece of gear that you can use to help you level should you die. I'm a big defense person. I'm always kind of a worst case scenario, so I try to plan for that. Worst case scenario in hardcore is dying. So, first thing that we're going to do is try to run through some of these Nephilim rifts in mind of keeping lookout for getting a really good legendary weapon. What you're looking for in that legendary weapon is a socket that's already there, two-handed weapon obviously, and you want to have bonus XP on it as well. Because as you run through the greater rifts and you get the gems and everything, you're looking for the gem of ease. When you get a gem of ease and level that up to at least 25, you can, well, really anything you want, but you can socket it in there and keep that weapon in your stash. Should you die, you have a weapon that you can use at level 1, and it's a level 70 weapon that a level 1 character can use, and it really does allow you to cruise through the game and really level up really, really quickly, because it also gives bonus XP. So, let's go ahead and run through some Nephilim rifts here. Just really quickly, I mean, it's all yellows. I do have a Ring of Royal Grandeur. I got 69 because I ran some bounties. It's really not very good gear. My gems are, barely the Imperial Emeralds and everything, or Imperial Topazes. I don't have a socket on my weapons. In fact, most everything that I have is not level 70. It's like 60 something, 61s and 66s and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and take it slow. You want to run Nephilim Rift first because now that you're 70, when you complete a Nephilim Rift, you're gonna get Greater Rift keys. Okay, so you want to run a few of those so you can get some Greater Rift keys, and hopefully you'll get some better gear. Um, you'll, like I said, hopefully get some better gear, be able to kind of power yourself up a little bit, um, and then you'll be able to move on to doing some Greater Rifts after you do get a few keys. So let's just go ahead and do this. Like I said, you always want to take it slow. Um, this particular build is really it's really nice. I like playing the Witch Doctor, not just because I like pet builds. Pet builds are kind of my favorite thing to play. Although I'll play just any class. I'm really digging Demon Hunter and the multi-shot build. It is a great speed build. But like I said, Witch Doctor, love Witch Doctors. This particular build is super versatile in the fact that you've got your pets doing the majority of your damage, and so you can be a little bit more aware of your surroundings because you're not having to worry about actually doing the damage. You've got a few skills like Haunt and Locust Swarm, but it's very, very versatile in the fact that you can actually change out skills should you get some legendaries along the way that are game changers. So you're definitely on the lookout for gear, and you want to stay behind your pets, let them do all the damage. It's gonna be a slow grind to begin with. I mean, I'm only on hard difficulty, mainly because I don't want to jump myself out there yet. I'm much more cautious until I get that leveling weapon. Once I get that, then I can be a little bit more risky in, pushing myself up to a higher difficulty. One thing that you can also be looking for is if you find some really good leveling, well, let's say leveling, XP pieces of gear that give bonus XP that are level 70s, you can use those gems of ease as well to make those level 70s become level 1s. So if you really wanted to, you could do a whole leveling set and basically be in full 70 gear. And maybe even be a set. You could do a set if you really wanted to, if you were doing it long enough. Take a nice, good set that you have that you can run some of the mid-range torments with, and should you die, you have an entire set of level 70 set ready to go that can run torments, and you go on torment 6 and cruise through from level 1, you'll level up in no time. So, but really, it's not super necessary. The necessary one is getting that weapon. The weapon is a huge help. And like I said here before, you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. I kind of enjoy playing hardcore sometimes. Uh, I also enjoy playing softcore as well because I can chill out with my friends, or I could even have some music going, or Netflix going, and another screen or something, and just kind of relax and run through some speed runs and gear up and everything. It's nice to do that, but you really can't do that playing hardcore because you really have to pay attention. All it takes is looking away 1 second and a grotesque blows up, or any something, desiccator puts something down below you and you're not paying attention, and you can ruin your day real quick. Like that. If I wasn't paying attention to that and I was looking off screen, that would have hurt real bad. So with this build, we've got Haunt as a damage spell. Mainly, we need a spell of some sort that we can attack with, because that summons our Fetish Sycophants with our passive skill. After we run this here, I'll kind of pull up the build that I used. It's not my build. It's just a real common build to use whenever you get to a fresh 70. But like I said, it's pretty versatile, and you can change things up as you get gear. But I've got Haunt. Also have Locust Swarm, which does a decent amount of damage. I've got Soul Harvest, which gives me a little bit of either speed boost. I believe I got Languish on, which is actually helps with armor as well. So helps the toughness. Really, really got to pay attention to that toughness. And then I've got, of course, my Jaunt that allows me to kind of go from kind of pack to pack. If I hit a dead spot in the dungeon like this, then you can just hit that sucker and you got a few seconds of speed boost. It's also really good for an escapability. If you find yourself in a bad position and you get um, stuck, maybe if you're like in a little forest and you get stuck in between some trees, or down here, if I get stuck in a corner and everything is kind of surrounds me, and they put some nasty effect on, and I can't get out, you hit that Jaunt, and it's a get out of jail free card, because you can find yourself really stuck and there's really not much you can do about it. Got a nice little sword there. See what that is in a little bit. So we're almost done here. I think most everybody knows, but in case you don't know, these Nephilim Rifts, they give loot throughout. They're super important for getting Death's Breaths, which is a crafting material, a material that you use to help kind of re-roll items and make them better. But there's a yellow bar over here and that yellow bar is your progress bar. When that fills up, you get a Rift Guardian, and you fight them, and they generally have the most loot and the best loot, and that's what you're looking for. And in this case, you're looking for the Greater Rift keys because you need those to run Greater Rifts. And the only place you can get the gems that you need to make your leveling gear, or at least the leveling weapon, is from the Greater Rifts. All right, here we go. Who'd we get? Who'd we get? Who'd we get? Oh, Agnadox. Okay, so we're gonna be careful with him. Gonna let our sycophants go, and he's done. So we got our Greater Rift key. Doesn't look like we got a whole lot of gear. Let's go ahead and go back and claim the reward here. Like I said, I was Paragon 4, I think, when I started the video, so just running that gave me 3 levels. And we're just going to do some movement speed. For offense, it's kind of really personal preference. We don't have a lot of cooldown reduction needed for this particular build. You're going to have to change it as you start to pick up things. I'm just going to do crit hit chance. Attack speed's not a bad one either. And then armor, you don't. Witch Doctors are intelligence-based classes, so you don't really need to spend a lot of points here on resist all. The resist all is super important if you're not an int-based character, but as you level, get more in intellect, and get items with higher intellect, your resistances are all going to automatically go up. So what you really need to do is get armor and life before you really spend some time and spend some points here in resist all. Then utility, it is what it is. I'm going to do life per hit to give myself a little bit of toughness. I could do resource cost reduction, but really in this build, again, it's my pets doing everything for me, and I just kind of throw my pot shots where I can. If I run out of mana, it's not a huge deal. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's go identify what we got. Okay, we got an Exarian, which is a one-hander, which is not what we want. Um, it's got monster kills grant 173. So for hardcore, I'm a bit of a hoarder as it is. For hardcore, I'm pretty much going to save everything. That's legendary for now, unless it's something that's really not useful. I'm not going to worry about blues and um, the grays, but let's take a look here and see what we've got for other gear and see if there's anything that we can up. So like I said, most everything I have is, I got a few 70 pieces, but most of them are going to be lower than that. So this is slightly better. It's got some more intelligence. That resist to all elements is nice, and it's got some armor. My previously equipped thing has the monster experience, monster kills grant 129 experience. Don't necessarily need that anymore. It's nice, but I don't need it necessarily for here. And I certainly don't need the fire skills, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that on there because it's gonna give me a little bit more toughness. So that's always good. I don't need that. Let's see here. This. It's also a level 70. That's not really doing much for me. No, not really. And you can use the stat changes as a guide to begin with because, again, your stuff is so low. It's a decent indicator. It's a decent indicator, at least to begin with. Um, so this thing has acid cloud damage. The boots I'm wearing have fire bats damage. I'm not using fire bats. I could, but this is going to give me, again, more toughness. I've got some vitality there instead of the movement speed, which is nice. It certainly is nice, but again, at this level, we're moving so slowly through everything that, I mean, movement speed's nice, but I've got the jaunt, and we can go through, and it'll save us a little bit of time, but not a whole lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those on, because anytime I can get some more toughness, I'm okay with that. Here's a locust swarm, so it's a little less damage, and it's also actually it's a little more damage. Here's another trick for you guys if you're new to Diablo, which I imagine most of you are not. But if you are, if I see this, I'm comparing this to what I've got equipped. I've got the native tunic equipped, and the teaming vestments is the thing I'm comparing it to. And it looks like right now that the teaming vestments actually has less DPS, less damage. But if you hold down Shift, that disregards any gems that I have socketed into the item. So really, looking at these things apples to apples, really the teaming vestments is better damage-wise and toughness and recovery. But since the native tunic has the 3 sockets with plus 100 intelligence each, I'm getting 300 extra intelligence there. that's really going to give me a little bit better. What I can do is take this piece here. I'm going to put this let's see, here so I know to keep it. Let's check some of these things other out. I don't need that. Nope, nope. Okay, so everything else looks like it's pretty well not going to be an upgrade. Vitality. Nope. Okay, so let's go over here to the Mystic. Because something that you want to do, depending on the resources that you have, we had a Challenge Rift box at the beginning of the season, so I've got plenty of materials to begin with. Let's go ahead and take this and see if we can't. Oh, if we take the Locust Swarm off, that'll be fine. We could take that off and get see if we can't get some sockets, because that'll give us a boost to intelligence, and if we can get sockets in there. So we go ahead, come over here to the Mystic, pick the ability that we want to replace. If you're not sure which ones, you click on this little question mark over here. It'll tell you what things you can get by replacing that particular uh, quality. So we're going to do this, and we're hoping that we get a socket down here. We're hoping we get a 3 socket. And we did. We got sockets. That's almost never happens. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to equip this. So if you look at it right now, it's a 2.8% damage decrease, but if I hold the shift, I'm going to actually get a 3% damage increase for this, because the vitality is a little better, but more importantly, the intelligence is a lot better. So let's do this. We're going to come over here and we're going to just mass salvage everything. Since we had already socketed stuff in here, we can't mass salvage that, so we're going to do that. We're going to click these on here, and we're going to go, and we've got a little bit more DPS, a lot more toughness. So I think actually what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and leave game here, and then I'm going to go ahead and bump it up to Expert. Go to my game settings, change, go up to Expert, and see how that goes, because you could look over here. Here it's 75% extra gold, 75% extra XP bonus. Here, Expert, it's 100% for both. Okay, and you want to recommend players for optimize their equipment further with the right gems and enchantments. So I've enchanted some of my stuff to make sure I've got the right thing. If we get to master, then you want to really start having some legendary pieces, right? So you want to take it slow with hardcore, because all it takes is that one time to something slip by your defenses and you're starting over. So just for fun, I'm going to go over here to Halls of Agony. I kind of go here as a judge for how's everything going to look. So let me pull up my pets here and see how my toughness and how I'm able to kill things. See how this goes. Let's see if it's going to be a super slow grind, or are my pets able to do a lot of damage. Let's see here. Looks like it's okay. It's a little slower. My DPS could do a little better, but it's not bad. I'll take this pool reflection, that's for sure. So I'm just going to be real careful. Let's see if we can get caught here and get hit with something and see how it looks. Something else to be note here with my pet build, these circles that you stand in from the season, those purple ones are damage boosts. If I stand in them, it also boosts the damage to my pets, so that is good. Alright, I think this is okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back and run a Nephilim Rift with it and see how that goes. Okay. Let's see. Let's do one more here before we end the video, and let's see how this goes. Hopefully there'll be no surprises. Be pretty embarrassing if I screamed like a little girl because I died. And make no mistakes about it, I'll probably scream like a little girl. Oh, fire chains. That's not good. So we want to be super careful. We want to hit some stuff, get some sycophants out. You can see our pets up here. I got 5 zombie dogs, a gargantuan, My Gargantuan has Cleave on, uh, and I've got 8 of the Fetish Sycophants. Now my Garg and my Zombie Dogs are perma until they die. The Fetish Sycophants only last a certain amount of time, so we want to make sure that we uh, are paying attention to those and hitting stuff fairly regularly so that we can keep that thing up. It'll go all the way up to 15, but you can see is the numbers going down because I'm not hitting stuff. And obviously you want to work your way up to a higher torment or higher difficulty level into the torments, because when you start doing greater rifts, those are basically starting off at greater torment 1. Um, and you get more XP, you get better gear. Okay, I'm getting out of there. Yep, I don't like. That's a prime example right there of a condition where you find yourself stuck in between some trees. You got enemies, you really can't move anywhere. So hit that jaunt, get out of there. I try to save that thing as much as I can, so that if I do find myself in that situation, and I could be playing it super overprotective, I really haven't seen my health bar move too much, so I might even be able to get into the master and get myself some better gear quicker. But me personally, I don't have all day to play video games. I know some people do, but I don't want to make a mistake and cost myself, 20 hours of gameplay just because I was like, I think I can do it, and then I don't. So I'd rather take it easy, safe, in hardcore, and make sure that I can do it rather than taking a risk like that. Okay, I did not like that positioning, but okay. Got out of there. We are about halfway through, folks. So, again, to those of you who are fairly new, if you don't know much about it, if you're, just watching the video because you like to watch me play, these pylons here give you bonuses, and there's an item called Nemesis Bracers that every time you hit one of those pylons, you get an elite pack. And elite packs are blue named things or yellow or purple, and they basically give you the little orbs. I don't know if you guys have seen them. I'll point them out here when I get one. When you kill an elite pack, one, you got a chance for in Nephilim Rifts getting death breaths, and also you get these orbs that progress the bar a lot farther. Okay, so they're blue, so they're elite packs. So we're gonna go ahead and kill these guys off, and when we do, see there's the death breaths right there. And, well, I guess I must have already picked them up. Okay, I'll show you the orbs on the next one. I must have picked it up by accident. That's why. Oh, is there? Oh, nope. Maybe I've got some more down here. That's why. Let's see here. I have not been doing my soul harvest. Okay, let's do that. All right, Paragon 10. I'm gonna let my pets go over there and do their thing, and I'll see if I can't show you the little orbs that we get. They're still there. Come on, guys. Yeah, my DPS might be a little low for this because it's going a little slow. Ideally, you want to do these things in about 3 to 5 minutes. When you get higher up, you can probably do them even quicker. There's a season conquest for doing them at Torment 10. It goes up to Torment 16 in 2 minutes or less. Oh, dang, I just picked some up. Right now, you're just trying to stay alive, and if it takes a little longer, it takes a little longer. It's not a big deal. Alright, so you guys see these little gold orbs up here? These are the things that progress our bar. You'll see them pop when I pick them up. They pop over there and makes it go further. Killing stuff still progresses your bar, but those make it progress a lot further. And you don't have to kill everything. That was one of the things when I first started playing Seasonal, that it was really hard for me to realize that you don't have to kill every enemy. As you get up higher and you're progressing through and pushing through higher, greater rifts and trying to see if you can do higher rifts, you don't necessarily want to kill every single thing. You want to get a nice good clump, you kill it. If there's a few things left over and you don't kill, that's fine. The trick is getting to the next clump of really dense, uh, dense pack of creatures to kill. So that is the name of the game. It is not a full clear thing. It is a get in, find a good clump, kill as many as you can. When when they're gone, move to the next one. That's why it's super important to have this jaunt. And any type of all classes have some sort of speed skill where you can, uh, you know, for a few seconds either sprint really fast or, uh, demon hunters can tumble. So even barbarians, they've got a set where you can whirlwind really really quickly. I do like that one as well. Stand over here. Hamlin's a tough one. Okay, so the fact that I'm sitting here getting destroyed and my health bar isn't moving, it tells me toughness wise, I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing okay. So now I really want to focus on, if this was me running full time here, I'd really want to focus on my DPS because that took probably, 6 minutes or so for me to run it. And you want it to be a little bit faster than that. Really, ideally, if you can get it down to that 3 to 5 range, you're in good shape and you can run them pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and level this up. Let's see what we got. Did we even get any legendaries? We did. We did. So we got a Reno Flyer. So now this is a Plague of Toads. Now seek out enemies and can explode twice. So, and it's another one-hander. I really would like to find a nice, good two-hander. We could make the switch conceivably if we find an offhand. Doesn't look like I got any off. I did get one offhand. So, and that one's Locust Swarm. So, if we could find an offhand to go with that with some Plague of Toads, then we could very well easily change out Locust Swarm down here for Plague of Toads, or even Haunt for Plague of Toads, and use that. Our DPS would go down a little bit, but overall with the legendary weapons, and if we can get some good, um, yellow pieces of gear, then we might actually be able to do some more damage. So let's go through here real quick. We got these things. Well, you know what? We might want to see about it because it's got Plague of Toads damage on it. So I'm going to take a little bit of hit on the toughness, but I'm going to get some more damage. And I'm going to get a socket that I can put on there. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to go ahead and take this bad boy out. I'm going to put this Reno Flyer in. You know what? And I'm going to put this guy over here for now. Let's see here. This has got increases acid cloud damage. Let's see what we can do here. We really want to have a socket, so we may have to do some re-rolling. Oh, see, now this would be good. This would be good. A little less toughness, a little bit more damage, but also you can see there it's got that gargantuan damage. So that's right now the prime of our DPS. Is anytime we can get any pet builds on it, any extra pet damage, and the gargantuan, they hit like a truck. So it's good to have those. So let's just see here. Let's just see what we got. If I put this back up here, how's that compare? Yeah, that's a lot lower. That's what I thought. So, Spirit Brush. That's about what I'm seeing. Here's another Plague of Toads. We could conceivably. Oh, it's got Vitality. Oh, that's a Strength one. I don't need that. Yeah, let's just chest it out. Let's see. Let's go here. And let's see what we can do over here. Let's get this guy, and it makes sense for right now to go ahead and re-roll a few things. You don't want to spend a lot of money on stuff, but giving it a couple re-rolls to see if you get yourself a little something different. Let's see. Let's do. Yeah, we don't need any of these things, so let's do this and see if we can't get a socket out of it. That way we at least keep our toughness up. And no, that's terrible. We'll give it a couple runs, and if it works out great. If it doesn't, I usually do about 4 or 5 and see if I can get what I'm looking for. Yeah, let's do life per hit. That's a little better life per hit. Man, I really do not Really do not want me to get a socket up there, do they? Nope. Okay, I'm not gonna spend any more money because it's starting to get. So now it's 100,000 per roll. Not worth it on a yellow item. If it's a legendary item, for sure. So okay, so I got that. That really hasn't done anything. We got Locust Swarm over here, but if we can trade this over for Plague of Toads, I don't know if we can or not. Let's see if we can get. Ugh, I forgot. Okay, so another thing to think about is when you're re-rolling offhands, it's the worst thing to re-roll because look at all the stuff that you can get. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I'm not gonna worry about Plague of Toads too much, unless for some reason I just get. You know what? I'm gonna do reduce cooldown so I can have my jaunt up a little bit more. And I'll roll it a couple times and see if I get lucky. Doesn't look like I'm going to. Let's do one more. I got a socket, but I don't really want a socket. So, alright, so that's not going to really do much for my Plague of Toads. There was something else. Oh, that's got Garg damage. Yeah, so this thing right here. Let's see what we can get instead of Plague of Toads. Can we get Garg? We cannot. So Plague of Toads are good. So that's good. You can come over here to Jeweler, spend a little money, get some of these gems. That's another thing that you want to start doing, is getting these gems up so I can get an Imperial Topaz. That'll give me another 100 intelligence. I'll plop that in there. So now my sheet damage is a little bit less, but I've got a few pieces here that do Garg damage. That'll increase the level of the damage of my pets, and I got this legendary here to where I can change out Haunt and change that out for Plague of Toads. And this is a signature spell, so it's actually, uh, you know, it's one of those ones that you'll, generate mana with. So Plague of Toads, and it says they seek them out now. So if we want to seek them out, explode on impact. That sounds like a good one. Rain of Toads. I'm not super experienced with Rain of Toads, so let's do this. Let's do Explosive Toads because that sounds like it should be a good thing. Not game-changing build or anything, but you can see where you start to get some of these things and you can kind of play around with it. And there might be something where you're like, no, it didn't really work out. Most of your damage is coming from your pets. So anything you can get with pet damage on it, obviously is going to make it better. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video. I did want to go ahead and say a few things about Borderlands, because obviously you guys who've been watching me a little bit know that I'm super stoked about Borderlands. We got Borderlands coming out in 8 days, and really, if you're in the US, which I imagine most of you are, it's really going to be available in 7 days. They came out recently here with some news that you can actually preload the game, and that you can preload the game about 48 hours before it's released. Now the release time, it's not going to be a staggered release time. It is a full-on, it releases at a certain time. So in that particular time is 12:01 BST, which if you're on September 13th. So if you're in the States, that equates to 7 p.m. Eastern or 4 p.m. on the Pacific Coast. So I'm in Central Standard Time. So at 6 p.m. on September 12th, I will have access to Borderlands 3, and I can preload about 2 days before then, 48 hours before that, 6 p.m. Release time for me. So that being said, that's next Thursday, and that's usually when I come out with a new video for you guys. So I probably am not going to commit to a video next Thursday. I may get in there and just, go crazy with what I'm seeing and have to pop a video in just so you guys can kind of see what's going on. But it won't be anything necessarily organized or anything. I do want to get in there, play around with it a little bit, get familiar with it, and kind of see how that stuff goes. But I will for sure get a video in the first day or two of Borderlands. I definitely plan on playing all Thursday night and most of Friday as well. So, alright guys, well that does it for another video. So, as always, don't forget to subscribe, smash the button below. Hopefully you find the video informative and entertaining, and good luck on your own adventures when you play. Alright, I will check you guys later.